Welcome to Trigun, and as you no doubt noticed, we're going old school with this anime. And since there's a strong Western aspect to it, that's pretty fitting. We kick the series off at a saloon where they're talking about the very, very famous outlaw, Vash the Stampede, aka the Humanoid Typhoon. The last town he was in, things went south and the whole place was just annihilated. He's that kind of trouble. Yeah, that's a good example. If this is a home improvement show, it will get the best ratings ever. We need to remove the old wall, but thanks to my grenade launcher, that won't be a problem. But there he is, the man himself, Vash the Stampede. Badass. The episode is the $60 billion double dollar man, because that's the bounty on his head. Meanwhile, at the last town, the sheriff has brought in a bounty hunter because something needs to be done. Except there's one weird thing. Despite practically leveling the place, somehow Vash the Stampede killed exactly 0 people. Not one person died in the midst of this insanity. Who wants to see block after block of homes demolished and nobody killed? I mean, besides zoning boards, of course. The sheriff describes Vash as a giant with short legs and a mohawk, which actually matches one of the guys who attacked the saloon at the beginning. And it's similar to what we soon hear from these two, Meryl and Millie. Millie's the one that's got the big guns under her coat. Oh no, it's just the one gun, my bad. But yeah, the description again does not match Vash himself.
Well, he stands about 12 feet tall, and he wields a huge weapon. He's supposed to have a mohawk and nerves of steel. Apparently, he's got tons of henchmen, and a reputation as the worst womanizer anyone's ever seen.
So apparently Harvey Weinstein is a cowboy now. The guy matching the description is getting his gang to look for the real Vash for the ginormous bounty, who ran off on account of after that dramatic badass opening, he discovered he'd already run out of bullets and had to flee. Oscillating between badass and dumbass, that is Vash the Stampede.
I found him! Over there! Perfect shot!
See what I mean? Vash manages to get the drop on one of the henchmen, though. Except the problem is this guy has got huge brass balls. Instead of complying, he calls the others over, refuses to lower his weapon, and just generally tells Vash to stick the gun where the sun don't shine.
You have to die! It would sure make us all happy if you do.
Got to admit, there's something kind of appealing in his honesty. In the end, though, it's his boss that does the mook in, getting seriously injured by the boomerang that's the size of a crocodile. He's not very supportive.
Now, it would make me real happy if you go hold him down.
Yeah, he's not winning Boss of the Year unless he shoots every other boss in the universe, which he admittedly might do. With Vash captured, they figure that reward is as good as theirs, but that's when Meryl and Millie show up. Turns out that they're not bounty hunters, they're agents for an insurance company, and they've come bearing donuts.
Actually, not at all. We were sent here by the Bernardelli Insurance Society to investigate a report of...
Huh?
I prefer bear claws myself. This is Constance Rifle. He has a real name, but since he has that big gun, I think Constance Rifle is the better choice. Big Ugly realizes that they seem to think he's Vash the Stampede, which his henchmen think is hilarious, which is easy to do when it's not your head being mistakenly assumed to be worth $60 billion. Only thing is, their rumor is that Vash the Stampede is blonde with a red coat and a big gun, which also describes Constance Rifle if his coat were inside out. So they figure he's the real Vash, and they're going to collect the bounty on him. Yakov Smirnoff would approve. While the fight breaks out, Meryl and Millie run for it, along with the real Vash, who helps himself to some of the donuts they brought. They were intended for Vash the Stampede, after all. Incidentally, as part of our 6 degrees of Millie here, the voice actor for Vash, besides being an ex-Power Ranger, is none other than Lelouch of Code Geass. I would seriously like to see those two characters fight. This is like the Joker and Batman kind of matchup. Grandmaster versus Crazy. Anyway, Meryl, who doesn't realize this is Vash, offers Vash some money to ride into town and warn them about this fight, while they head back and offer donuts to the victor. What is with them and donuts anyway? Seems there's a truce as both sides realize the other isn't Vash the Stampede, and so are teaming up to catch him. But first, the two ladies are tied up.
What good will this do? These two are useless.
Don't worry about it. Just enjoy them.
Maybe he's the womanizer then. Before the jolly green-haired giant can do anything too seedy, Vash returns, riding like a lunatic and splitting the ropes holding them, while employing a martial style usually associated with Daffy Duck. He's soon cornered on the edge of a cliff and chooses not to leap to his death. Seriously, the villains offer it to him like it was a choice on a menu. Oh, and we have a lovely suicide today, monsieur. But Vash dodges the boomerang attack, twists up the guy's arm, and lets the cyborg tech basically destroy itself, terrifying the minions into running off. That just leaves the bounty hunter.
What?
Well, that's that then. Unfortunately, the guy's bombs all go off, setting off an avalanche that destroys the nearby town that they were trying to warn. No deaths, but one whopping big bill for the insurance company to pay out. At this rate, they'll probably need the bounty just to start paying off all the damage that happens around Vash.